when I was 18, like I was a night manager for Asda. So I was I was a manager in kind of retail really young. And I was always running that. Night manager for Asda, I was in the kind of 50, 60 hours a week. I was pushing the boat out just to make as much as I could. I moved my missus and me out by like kind of 19, 20, got my own place, a nice house, moved both my kids in with us, obviously. Because we needed that space at the time. We were living with her dad, and it was nothing against him. Do you know what I mean? It was just, I'm a big guy, and like my kids, two boys, her. We just needed some space, so it was good to get out. But it really did force me to have a work ethic that I didn't know I had at the time. Do you know what I mean? Which is good, and it instilled that in me. So by the time I was 25, 26, I'd been like a night manager for Asda, a store manager for JD, service manager for Argos, trading manager for Asda again. Like I'd got myself around. Do you know what I mean?
And all the roles sound like they were always managerial.
Yeah, they were always managerial. But it's because I always had a thing. And this is a little tip from me for people that do work in retail: is every 2 years you should be looking to refresh. Never stay somewhere longer than 2 years, because one retail-based benefits are nothing. There is no benefit to staying somewhere for 20 years. They cap your payment, like a redundancy payment, at 20 years. They only pay you a week's salary per year that you're there anyway. So
yeah, I remember
overall,
that,
you're not going to get that much money anyway. Do you know what I mean? So what I always say is get the money now. And the reason I say that is because when you move external, you're always going to earn more money. So every time you get a new job externally to another company, they will pay you more than they would have paid someone internally stepping up, because you're external talent, so they have to pay more. So every 2 years, I would always switch up. I haven't spent longer than 2 years in any retail job anywhere, and I would always get an extra few grand every couple of years, and that was how I treated it. Do you know what I mean? And then I suppose, oh God, where do I even start here? So I've always been a gamer. Like, who hasn't been a gamer? Modern Warfare 2, good lord. Like the amount of time I put into like gaming when I was kind of 10 to 17 was astronomical. But I've definitely probably put an actual year of time in that 7-year period was spent.
See, this is crazy. Let me just say to you, right, to hear that you're a gamer and you put that much time into it, my brain goes, what the fuck are you on about?
Mate.
Right, but I know the thing is, I know it's a huge thing, but I actually don't. I don't understand it, and I will say, right, bearing in mind, like this is just my flippant ADHD. I've bought a PlayStation, a brand new one twice. And I bought a 360. What's it called? The fucking Xbox. I don't even know what they're called. Look, and I bought an Xbox. I went fucking nuts and bought everything just because I was like, that whole like, let's get obsessed with it, and I never got into it. And I tried to force myself to get into it because I wanted to have that.
I think once you hit a certain age, you
can't. Mine was more adult.
And I think if you were younger in that time period of when it was blowing, then you would have been just as hooked as anyone else. And I think it's like me now. Like I barely touch a game now at all. It's because I don't care for them. But if you were to say to me just 3-4 years ago, do you think you will ever stop playing games? I'd have gone, shut up, hell no. Do you know what I mean?
I'll stop reading.
No, that's not saying I'll stop. Yeah, literally, I'll stop breathing. Like, no way will I. But now it's like I've got a gaming room dedicated. I've got my triple monitor set up, gaming PC, PS5, Xbox, you name it. Got my streaming set up. Got like a whole graffiti wall behind me. I spent so much money on this room, and now it's like, anytime I go in there, it's like a YouTube video for and then I don't go in there, or I go in there to use my mini fridge and get like an Abe can out or whatever I want to get out, or a beer. Do you know what I mean? I don't use the room.
Why did you keep it? Is that just a bit of a memory?
I suppose it's my space. Do you know what I mean? It's still my space.
Do your lads use it, or is it not?
They do. My boys will go down and be like, can I use your game? They've both, they've got PS5s and everything themselves, but they'll be like, can we use your PC or use it? And they will use it, but it's just, I suppose I'm not ready to let go of it yet. Even though
little baby.
Like, it is,
And it's like everything is a bridge. You've got to cross that bridge. So if you look in hypnotherapy, you talk about gates opening and crossing bridges, and one bridge at a time, and imagine a beautiful field with different bridges you've got to come across, and that's how to think. The whole of life is up and down. You know, you can go from a hero to zero. I mean, look at your famous spasm.
Yeah. Fucking went viral, didn't it?
Yeah, we didn't take long, did it? I mean, one second you're there, next and then you're riding on the floor. So and that's how quick life can change.
Yeah.
That's how quick life can change.
Yeah.
It's so but what could you do? You could have bitched about on the floor and still be bitching about it now. Next time, maybe take some, make some intervention so that doesn't minimise the chance of it, and you carry on, don't you? This is with everybody. You get massive setbacks.
Yeah, no, it's true. And also, when you look at things like that, there's so many things in life that can I just call them noise, because it's just noise, isn't it? Like, there's so many noises that can attract you that direction, but actually you got to remember the way you're going, and you got to continue your path regardless.
Yeah, I mean, look, there is, for me, and I'll say this to my kids as well, there's only one path, right? All this stuff about you have options and develop yourself and, you know, enjoy yourself. And they said, no, it doesn't work that way. You know, you've got to cross that bridge. However you cross it doesn't matter. Do it legally, without fucking anyone over, and go across it. Right, because otherwise you'll sit on the side and everybody else will go across it. No one's going to, you know, unfortunately.
No one's going to hold your hand and walk with you.
Not anymore. No one's going to carry you across that bridge. If you if you're lucky enough to find that, that's a blessing for you.
I always say this thing, and a lot of people say I'm wrong for saying it, but I'll still continue saying it because I'm right in my eyes. But nobody cares. Do you know when you get the thing is when people hear me say this, right? When I say that nobody cares, people think they mean actually nobody cares. And like, oh yeah, well my missus cares, my dog cares, my blah blah blah, whatever. That's fine. People are just talking shit. My point is, what I'm trying to say is that when it comes down to that actual fine straw, everybody thinks about themselves. Look, and the reason I say that is so that you don't ever become reliant on other people. It's not because I mean nobody actually cares. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's the fact that if you become reliant on other people, then you'll always think that someone will help you
Mate, I'll tell you this,
over the bridge.
I've worked with disability, MS, strokes for a long time. I've had partners say to me, I would leave my husband or my wife or girlfriend or boyfriend if it wasn't for what people would think, because it's too intense looking after them. 1,000 times I've been told this. Okay, and when I had my you know, the back surgeries, and one of the surgery went wrong, so I've got partial paralysis in my leg and things like this. How long will somebody look after you? Who's going to even carry me going to the bathroom or something? Think about it. I mean, it can happen to anyone. Disease can happen, and I really hope it doesn't happen to anybody. But the fact is, 15 months on crutches, not being able to walk properly, and I went up to squat 300 as well after that. Right, not massive, but
that's not massive, no.
Nah, but it's not. Look what everyone's doing nowadays. Fucking got kids deadlifting.
You can't compare yourself to other people, though.
Yeah, but when I see these kids deadlifting now, I think, fuck, you know, what the hell's going on? But you know, you've got to. Again, my only advice to people: you've got to battle your way through it. There'll always be good people along that journey as well who will help you. If they see you're trying to move forward, they will help you. But just by sitting on the side of the road and sitting there crying about it, you know, and I'm going to say, I'm going to be bold enough to say, it's not the man's way. I'm sorry, but it isn't.
It's true. It's true.
You know, you've got to do it. I mean, you've got family and kids. It's not about you anymore. It's about putting you know, really putting them forward. Yeah. And that's what you've got to do, and that's why you've got to do what you've got to do.
Yeah. But that's that thing, isn't it? What you said earlier, like, a lot of the time that's looked at as wrong to say that now, isn't it? But ultimately, it boils down to that in the end.
Yeah, but see, we're Pakistani, we can still say it, because we can say it's part of our culture. We can still get away with it. So for the time being,
anyway. Who did you sort of like aspire to around that bodybuilding?
Like I knew that 6'6" was tall for a bodybuilder, so I didn't really have any like physiques that I could.
What was Arnie out of interest? I feel like he's really tall.
6'1",
right? Yeah,
maybe 6'2". I think even Lou Ferrigno was like, I think maybe 6'4". But obviously they were, I suppose, you know, pre where I was anyway. And if we actually look at their physiques now, golden era, they're great, but would they be competitive in today's bodybuilding scene? Probably not. Like certainly from a condition point of view, it's a whole new new ball game. So yeah, I didn't. You know, and I've always known, like, I'm putting myself in like, I'm not at a disadvantage, but like, it's not the normal thing to be a tall guy, and I've used that in a way. I've accepted it and been like, right, my progress will be my progress at my rate. There's no reference point, you know, for that. But also, what can be achieved? You know, what, like me, I know me and Jamie have spoken like this, and I'll reference Jamie a lot because he's, you know, a good friend, and we trained together for a period, and he's 6'5", and it's someone else that was on that level. But we were always like, you know, one of our ambitions is to show what is possible, what can be done as a tall guy, because we didn't have that, and now people have that, you know, to look up to. And although, you know, they might not be prepared to dedicate 10, 12 years to it, if they wanted to, it's possible.
It's possible,
and we're showing that. We're showing that. So,
but that for a lot of people is boring. they're impatient, and
Yeah,
these
oh
things,
God,
aren't
yeah.
they? Like it's
Yeah.
like, but you never thought that, no? Because you're.
I never thought any further ahead than the next show. Every time I've come off stage, it's been what's next. 2010 I took 2 years off. 2012 I stepped on stage, considerably bigger and better. 2 years off again. 2014, considerably bigger and better. And literally every time I got off stage, it was like, right, I want to compete. 2014, I wanted to compete every year from that point onwards. So it's like I have 12 months. How am I breaking this down? How am I going to progress? How am I going to get better? And just didn't give any thought to the bigger picture, because the small steps are what's building it. Yeah,
it's really funny because obviously I coach and it's what I help people do. Building the bricks, planning things and periodizing things. But for me, listening to you there, it feels. I want to say exciting. I think that's the right word. It feels exciting to listen to what you're saying there, because when I think about myself as well, I'm like, yeah, I'm in that groove. But do you know what? And I will openly say this, and it's probably an ADHD thing, but I get excited by the thought of it, and then I go, oh, fuck, I can't wait. Right. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but that's something I see that you have,
Yeah.
and I will say mastered. I feel like it's you do, but you have it very mastered, don't you? Where you're like, this is your journey, this is your lifestyle, and I will commit to it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think I become too flippant sometimes. Although I'm not saying I don't work hard, because I'm sure you see it, but but I do have that point where where you go show to show to show to show.
Yeah.
I do often go, right, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do something.
Yeah,
do you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And that's something
I think
actually struggle with.
arguably though, like, you're in a position to do that because you're an athlete. Like bodybuilders aren't athletes. We're one-dimensional beings. And I think any bodybuilder who has done what you've done and tried to go off in another direction has just broken. You'll have the odd bodybuilder who will go into powerlifting and strongman, and it won't work out well.
Long. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you do
Like,
notice
unless
that,
you're going to commit to that process and actually transition properly.
But you've got to really peak it slow, haven't you? And then
Exactly.
work into it,
I think, and again, I know what I am. I'm a bodybuilder, and I know what I want to be, and I want to be a bodybuilder. And once this bodybuilding journey is done, then I'll reassess and see what I want from that. But for now, it's single tunnel vision.
My only goal was to make England's once, and that was a 5-year plan when I first started, and I made it to England's after 3 years of training strongman.
Yeah.
So anything after that, my wife would tell me, I just said, I just want to make England's, and I did England's, and it's like, I want to make UK's, and I made UK's. And it's like it just kept on going, and I was like, where does this end? So now I'm 31, and I'm at that stage now where it's like, I don't care, I'm just going to enjoy it. And that, well, I think before I was so serious, and I was like, and I was putting so much pressure on myself, like especially like 4 weeks before a comp, I'd probably have a bad session. That's it, rum a day.
Yeah.
And you think, what's the point?
Yeah. You see, I don't know you in massive depth, but just from what I know of you, I don't think that's true. But obviously it is.
What you mean about how competitive? I'm very competitive.
No. As in, like, a bad session would completely screw you. I see you as so chilled and
no,
do you know what I mean? But is that an old you then?
No, if I deal with it better now.
Yeah.
Previously, if I had a bad session, I mean, because I train late at night, so it'd be the last thing of the day anyway. So I'd literally go back in the house, and people would ask me, "How's your session?" And I'd be like,
"Don't ask today."
Shit. Shit. And she's like, "Oh," it's just like. But then, where I've been, my training age is quite big. I've been doing lifting weights since I was 13, so it's I'm quite experienced in it, knowing that it's the rule of thirds. That third of the time it's shit, third of the time it's okay, third of the time it's great, and you have to take that into account, and you have to just accept it.
Yeah, that is great mentality of looking at it, because you're right. There's so many people that will have a shit day and everything goes out the window. Yeah. But again, they're the people, like what you're saying a minute ago, that take things too serious. And I will hold my hands up. I have got a very obsessive personality, and I think that takes over with that sometimes. So I will obsess on things and then be more stressed than I should. Or
that has a
could have
negative
been.
effect.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That's what I think. Well, I tried too hard, and then I've just ruined it. And you think, just enjoy it. You're not enjoying it. Enjoy yourself.
It's funny because again, that's probably another brownie point for Sarah. Not that I'm setting you and my missus up, but that's what she always says to me though about that whole. And you're right in that she always says to me, like, when you're not enjoying it, that's when you get stressed, and then you
become an asshole.
Yeah, but it's true. But you don't, because
Yeah.
you have a bad mood. You have a bad mood. You have a bad look on it. You have a. Do
then your whole personality becomes you're a strong man, and it's like you can't because you've got all these other people depending on you, and you can't just rely on. You're not in your own bubble. You've got this bubble around you, support network, and you have to kind of use that to help you in your sport. Not because if you don't, then you're just going to piss everyone off. You're going to get pissed off. Weight's not going well, and it's just this downward spiral of you being an arsehole to everyone and stuff not going your way. Yeah. So you really have to like. That's when I said like I'm a bit blasé, and I'm not like I'm going to be the best deadlifter in the UK and all that stuff. It's more like no, I'm just going to see where it goes, and I'm going to enjoy it. I've kind of learnt from all the times that I've pushed, tried to get something, and then it's that almost like then it's not a fear of failure. Yeah. Because I don't mind if I fail. Now, I couldn't care. I'll turn up to, like, any comp I go to now, it's not a case of... Before, I used to stroll Instagram, see who's lifting what, and be like, oh, I want to get this, want to get that. But it's like, now it's no. I know what I can do. I've got these times in my mind. If I hit that, I've had a good comp. Where I place, that's where I place. Yeah.
If I dwell on it, what's the point in dwelling on it? You're just going to make yourself miserable. I have bad days. Everyone has bad days. Even someone with no disability can have a bad day. It's nothing to do with your leg
as well, is it? And that
the only time
it's nothing about that.
The only time I kind of have a bad day is if I fall over through the leg. Nothing to do with whatever. You know, if I could be just walking or something, the leg gives way on me. Then I get angry that not why have I lost the leg, but then that's the only time I kind of think about it. But apart from that, it's like it's me. You know, when I come out of intensive care, that's it. I've lost the leg. That's me. It's me now. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a break in a second, and I do want to go deeper into that. So let's just literally speak about this Guinness World Record before we break, and then I want to go into sort of like the depth of that as well. But so on the build up for this, just I don't want to say you failed it, but you did.
It was a failed rep, yeah.
You failed
a dizzy rep.
Yeah, how did you feel after going to, Ultimate Strongman and
I was gutted I didn't get it.
An insanely big crowd, and you didn't get the rep. How did you feel?
I felt really gutted. I let me down, everyone down, like even you and the crowd, the audience, because I knew it was there. I just knew it was there. How easy it went to my chest, and then just getting dizzy just like that for no reason. Even when it was to my chest, I said, we've got it. And then I just come from nowhere, went dizzy, and I had to drop it. And then obviously, because I was put under a time limit, I couldn't get it back in time. Yeah. Because my arms because I'm curling 100 kilos, I just couldn't. Yeah.
Was it 2 cleans you did or 3?
3 cleans.
Yeah, 3. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's your max log. Like anyone to do a max rep a couple of times, cleaning it multiple times, it's going to take it out of you. Not to forget that there was, I don't know, 5,000 people. What was it?
About 3,000.
3,000 people. Do you know what I mean? Like you got all the pressure of that, you got the lights, it was hot, and do you know what I mean? All this tension, and then it's like your life just feels like it just fell out your arse.
It was a bit. I was gutted. I'm not going to lie on that one. Yeah. I had 3 days of my lip dragging on the floor, and then I got back in touch with them.
Yeah, and but which is a fight attitude, man. That is the lion mind itself.
Oh yeah.
It was a. I'm not allowing that to control me. I'm going to see where we're at and then go again. Yeah. But then come the Guinness World Record, which is sitting right there anyway. Yeah. You absolutely fucking nailed it, and I will say myself that feeling of just, I don't know, hugging you afterwards was insane for me. So it must have been insane.
Yeah, I'm glad they said keep in touch, because they were gutted just as much as I was on the day, because they watched me do the warm up at 95 kilo in the back of the arena. Yeah. So they knew that it was there. Yeah. So they said, look, have a bit of time, get back in touch, and we'll go for it. I mean, the adjudicator and everything like that to come out, like I say, they did it all off their own back.
Insane, wasn't it? Yeah, it was wicked.
So, and if anyone who goes on the Guinness World Records to try and do a Guinness Record, they'll know what it costs for an adjudicator to come out. Yeah. So then for them to come out, £8,200.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
£500 to jump the quew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But they did all that because they believed in me.
They believed in me. Yeah, that's why they come out. Yeah.
Which it was an electric day, mate. We'll remember that forever, and especially now because I've got the certificate.